Hi, fellow traders. I hope everybody had a great day today. It's an exciting day in the market. Um, VKTX was just incredible this morning. All I could do was just sit back and watch it. It was just amazing. You had a stock that traded on average 2 million shares, and today it traded 51 million or 51.5 million shares. That's incredible for a stock that only trades an average of 2 million shares a day. Um, and it traded over its float. So it popped the float today. I think the float on it was what, 48, 49 million. So it was just an incredible trade or trader. But there's always a but. We'll talk a little bit about the but here in a minute. Um, I do. I've got a message that's just burning deep down in my soul, but I'm gonna wait till tomorrow and share that with you. You know, it's been a while since I've been able to do a video. Actually, I've been trying for a month to really get back settled in. Um, at day trading, you got to get settled in, and it's like it's just one thing or another that just keeps me from getting settled in. Here, I thought we were finally getting settled in, and then this Hurricane Florence decided it wanted to show up, and the city went in, our state went into a panic on Monday. The school shut down. The governor declared a state of emergency on Monday, like 5 or 6 days before the storm even got here. But it did help everybody have time to prepare. We didn't have this big onslaught of people the day before, buying out everything, and so it was a pretty systematic thing. So in that respect, it was good that it took that long to develop. But for me, it just kind of put my life in turmoil because everybody was closed. My whole family was home, and all we just got consumed with what's the storm doing? Where is it going? And after all of this anticipation and excitement, all this preparation, and we got a little bit of wind and rain for a couple of days. Took down a couple of limbs, which I needed to get taken down anyway, so that kind of worked out. But it didn't really amount to much. And I've been through a couple of hurricanes, and this one did not seem like anything close to a hurricane or a tropical storm. But, we were prepared. And, that's one thing that we can't take for granted. If we need to get prepared, we can't dismiss it. We got to make sure that we got everything in place. But it's funny, last night we had two thunderstorms come through that were more violent than the weather we had from the storm, from the hurricanes. But it was interesting. So I'm looking forward to getting settled back in. I didn't take a whole lot of trades last week. I just couldn't get settled in. I just had so much on my mind with everything that's going on. But I'll get you caught up with the swing trade that we took and a couple other things. And then tomorrow, I'll pour my heart out. CVNA, this was a swing from last week. Got in it on Monday. This was right off our watch list um, from last Sunday. Got in it on Monday, and this thing took off, and it hit two targets. Two of my targets, it hit on the first day. Now, this is it doesn't usually do this, but it did, and was able to lock in some pretty good profit the first day. Almost $2,500 the very first day on this. And the second day, I kind of mismanaged it a little bit. I don't have that chart. But what I did was, and I like to do this with my swing trades. I like to download it to TradingView because what it does is it gives me a chart. I could download it at the end of the week and it will still show my entries and exits on my chart. And this is very important. DOS will only show the day that you enter and exit, but overnight it resets. And I don't like putting charts together, trying to cut this and put this here. So it's so easy just to download it, and it gives me everything I need, all my commissions. It even lets me know when I get a rebate. So that's one one good thing about this. And well, another good thing about it, it does have all the commissions and fees, everything after it's settled. Everything is there. So I like using it on my swing trades. I don't use it on my day trades because I can, everything right from the platform. But swing trades, I do like to do this so I can see everything and have this in my journal. I just print this out and put this in my journal, and I do my notes down here. I cut it off because I wanted to make this big enough so you could see. But I could type in all my notes, everything I was thinking, and just print it and put it in my journal. So I love it. So you can see final tally on this was 34.52.80. And that's after all of my commissions and fees on this. Now, what I was saying, I was trying to get 75. I had 73.50 as my final target on this. But since it had such a good day, I went ahead and wanted to go for 75. But you can see, this day we kind of pushed up a little bit, and then we started selling off and hit my profit stop. So I gave up. I could have locked in another $1,000-$1,500 on this, but I was trying to get up to 75, and this was a classic case of me being greedy. My final target was 73.50. I should have left it there and not try to get too greedy, but kind of paid the price on this. So that's where we ended up with CVNA, and I did get this posted on the website, so it is up, and I've got the swing trade email list fixed. As you guys know, I sent out a test email, so everybody that signed up to get the swing trade alerts and get the any emails that I send out pertaining to swing trades, you should be good to go now. So this is Monday. ETSY. This was this Monday or yesterday, and this wasn't on the watch list. This was one that hit the reversal scanner, and what I was looking for it to do, it was later in the afternoon, and this thing has some pretty good price action coming down. So what I like to do is wait for it to fall through these moving averages, come back and retest it, and then on the fail and confirmation of the fail, I like to get short. So here we rejected the 50, which is probably where I could have gotten in, but we had the 9 here and the 20. I don't short into support, so I waited, and it came through. It pulled back, rejected. This candle was weak. As soon as we cracked the low of this candle, that's where I got in. It started working. I was happy for about 20 seconds. And then all of a sudden, I saw the shift. And yeah, I probably should have bailed out when I saw it. But I didn't know if it was, the market makers just trying to fool us, playing games, playing around. Maybe it would trade back over this for a minute and then pull back and sell through. This is just odd. This is just, no reason for it to turn around here. But it did, ended up stopping me out. And, that was yesterday. Now, I didn't put down, I think I lost like $70 on this. But I stopped posting the P&L. And I did it for me because I didn't want to see this every day. I don't want to sit here and see what I did today. And it gets in my mind that I want to try to average this every day. And, but I got so many requests for it. I want to see what you did and all that. So I'm putting it back on. As of today, I'm adding it back on so you can see exactly what my P&L is. I'll just pretend I don't know. Hopefully that'll work for me. But yesterday, took a little hit on this, and I wasn't mad. I did what I was supposed to do. Had a nice plan. I thought it was solid. It didn't work, and stopped out according to plan. So yesterday, if you were in chat, late, some people are there, after I get back from picking up my son from school, which is right around 4 o'clock, almost 4. Or you late, you'll see me bring charts up. And those are charts that stocks that are reporting earnings. Some of them I am looking to trade. I don't talk about it. I don't post it because it's very risky. You've got to have the capital and the experience, and you need to have done the research in order to, trade these. There's a handful of traders that are at the point. They've been with me for a long time. They've gotten, consistent. They develop the skills they need. They've got the account they need to do this. And so I teach them this. And when they see this come up, they know. And they know exactly what I'm looking at. And I'll teach it to anybody once you get to this point. You don't pay anything extra. Any of the strategies that I trade, the pre-market strategies, the all-day holds, I'm kind of sharing with everybody bit by bit. But because that one really isn't that, it is, but it isn't. So if you've got some skill developed, you can trade those pretty good. And then the aftermarket earnings that I do, I will teach you. It doesn't cost you anything. I'm just not teaching it to everybody. I'm not doing a class on it to put on the website, because when I did this last year, when I taught my pre-market stuff, too many people blew up their account because they weren't ready for it. They didn't listen to me when I said, don't trade this if you're not ready. But it looked like easy, quick money before the market even opened, and they lost all their money. Aftermarket, this looks like quick, easy money on earnings, but you won't feel that way when earning turns around and goes the wrong way on you. So you got to be prepared for that. And you got to have the account that can take the hit if it does. So, only those that are at that level will do that. And I do take these trades. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is I get asked a lot, probably from conspiracy theorists, but it's a legit question. How can you make a living just trading a small account? You can't. Okay? You can grow your account, but you can't make a living trading, with a small account. You grow it to a level where you have enough money in there where you can trade the size and the strategies and the setups you need that you can make a living. So I'm not advocating that you can do that, and I don't live off trading that account. Obviously, I don't live off the chat room because I don't charge enough to make a living off of it. It's enough to keep it going every year. But I do take these trades. I swing trade. I do a lot of stuff. I don't post these because I don't teach that to the general population. And if I don't teach it, I'm not going to post it. I'm not going to talk about it. I'm not going to brag about it. So this is the last time you're going to see these. You won't be seeing these anymore. I'm not going to recap these. But just to answer the questions and, kill the curiosity, I'm sharing this one, and another one, and that's going to be it. But this ORCL, you can see the way, and just to give you an idea of what I'm looking at, I did all the research. I knew this thing had piss poor earnings. I knew the revenue was bad. So I'm looking for a gap down. Based on everything I saw, I'm looking for a gap down. But I will not trade this if the chart doesn't look good that day. If the chart looks crazy, I will not trade it. So I may only trade 1 or 2 of these a week. I may not trade 1 for 2 weeks. Just depends on how the chart looks. So, this open, this pushed up, and once it sold off and it tried to get, it bounced, it couldn't get back to the high, then for me, this is going to sell off. If that sounds familiar, that's all I'm looking for my all-day holds. That I'm looking for the stop to fade the rest of the day. So basically, that's what I was looking at. And as soon as I get in here, we've been failing all the time. As soon as this pushed up, and it couldn't even get the VWAP, I was like, I'm in. Now I know, I say I've got a rule. I don't short into support and all this. This is a totally different trade. Okay, completely different set of rules. So that's why I got in here, because I'm looking for this gap down when earnings are announced. This is what I'm looking for. So you can't wait until the market closes and get in, because if you watch level 2, as soon as it closes, you could see a 2 or 3 point spread between the bid and the ask. You can't get in on that, so you got to get in before, and that's what I did. And you can see, had the huge sell-off, got the first target, got to the second target here. My final target was going to be through this 46. I was really looking for it to hit 43.5 or so, but it didn't. It recovered here because people in the we had profit taking, number one. Then you had people pumping it up. And then the doggone conference call kicks in, and these people are talking it up some more. So that's what happened with this. And so I had to hold on to it. I took 3/4 of it off, left 250 shares on to try and get the move the next day. But locked in, $1,900 yesterday after the close. Then this morning, it went south on me. You can see how this is what we traded yesterday. Started grinding up, and I was looking for maybe a quick sell-off that I could take profit in. So I had a target down here around 46, but it didn't sell off. It just ran up and it hit my profit stop. And I had a profit stop at a point, and so I ended up with what, 250 off of this. Where is it? Yeah. So that was that. Now this VKT I'll talk about in a minute. This was didn't mean to get in this account, but I was at the doctor's office and I logged into the wrong. Well, I was already logged into this account because I was looking at some stuff. I was sitting at the doctor's office with my son and didn't mean to take this trade in this account, but since I did, I just let it go. Put a stop on it and just let it run its course. But we'll look at that in a second. So question was, what do you have on earnings today? Tomorrow, CPRT is an auto parts company. It's a stock that I traded forever. It's one that we traded when I was teaching because this was an automotive stock, part of the automotive industry. So that's how I brought stocks into my class, how I was able to get away with trading while I was in school. So I know this stock and I've kept up with it. You see, it's been, pushing up after every earnings for the last 4 times. We've had, it's gone up. Haven't had any strong gaps though. Here, I think this was the only gap that we had. Here we didn't really have any gap. We gapped up, but then we sold back off. And this ascending resistance has been, in place for a while. So I'm looking for this tomorrow to gap up to this, and I'll be able to trade it off of this. I didn't get in it tonight to hold it overnight. I thought about it, but I wasn't. I was like, nah, I'll just wait till in the morning and see what this does. Here's a 52-week high. Looking for it to gap over that and, test this again. But we'll see how that goes in the morning. This is the only earnings play that we've got in the morning. So I'll use, my typical setups in the morning on it. But pre-market, I'll be watching this. All right, so today, I couldn't trade this early. I knew I was going to have to leave and pick up my son. I didn't want to get into this, but this thing was really, really whipping around. It was an exciting trader. I don't like trading these stocks when they trade like that. That's why I don't, trade low dollar, low float runners. I just don't like it. There's nothing wrong with it, but me personally, I don't like it, so I don't trade it. I wait until I feel the stock is getting, a little bit easier for me to trade. And so, that's what I waited for until at lunch. Actually, I took this at the doctor's office, all through here. Yep, all through here. This was at the doctor's office here. I was already back in chat when I was taking this off. But this was, I waited till it slowed down and I picked my spots. And that's what you got to do. You got to let things slow down, get comfortable, pick your spots, and then move on. And, this was pretty exciting. Ended up with 240.01. Too many tickets, I know. But I was, this is another case of me not being home. I've got one little laptop. I've got 3 accounts open on this thing. And I'm flipping back and forth. And so, I've got some loose tickets here. But, that's going to happen. But all in all, I felt pretty good about this. Got a good strong week started with the earnings trade yesterday. With this today, I can't complain. Now here's what we looked at earlier, and I didn't trade this for all day hold, but I was telling you guys this was a setup for it. We put in a high, we could not get back close to it. We couldn't get really back over the VWAP. So you could have gotten in here pre-market, put your stop back up here, and yeah, it's gonna push at the open, but it shouldn't have stopped you out if you were holding it for all day hold. But you got to have the account size in order to give it the room that you need. If you're trading this with a small account, you can't give it 2 points. It doesn't make sense. So you don't have the capital to do it. But even if you didn't do it, this was a good day trader if you waited for the volatility to slow down. Here was a good entry here. And, I wanted to trade this, but I knew I was going to have to leave. And I'm trying not to trade and drive anymore. I'm trying to break that habit. So I just had to let it go. I had to wait and bide my time. And that's why I had to wait to trade this. And here's the trade. I didn't mean to take this. Like I said, I had 3 accounts set up on one little laptop, and I was flipping back and forth looking at stuff. And so I got in on this one when I didn't really mean to, but I just let it go and traded it. I don't know why. I had my limit order sitting right here on the VWAP, and it went through it, but it didn't hit my order. So I waited, and I tried to wait to see if it was going to get back to VWAP, but I got spooked out, and it looks like it was the right thing to do because it never did hit VWAP. And I took some off, and I held the rest to see if we would get it. We didn't. I had to take it off here before we closed. But that's fine. Still booked let's see, how much was it? 361. On 300 shares. That's really not bad. Even though I had to give up this was a profit stop. It wasn't a break even anyway. So, that was good. Nope, I don't need this. I was looking at this earlier, but I don't think we're going to bounce. I don't think CVNA is going to bounce this week. So that's it. You guys are caught up. I'm sorry if I got a little bit long-winded, but I had a lot to try to catch up and try to explain. So tomorrow should be straight. Shouldn't have anything pop up to take me out of my game tomorrow. So like I said, I showed you the stock that I will be looking at hard tomorrow, which is Copart. CPRT. So I'll be looking at that one. Let's see, this one right here. So I already know this is the one I'm going to be looking at in the morning. Looking for the gap up on this. All right, guys, so take it easy. Hope you have a great night, and I will see you guys first thing in the morning.